Okay, ladies, so welcome back to part two. This is me going to be styling the unit to look like this. Thank you for choosing Crown by Keisha once again. I hope you enjoy part two of my lace frontal pixie wig installation. And now I'm going to be laying some edges. I used the Got to Be Freeze spray, and my favorite tool to use is a mascara brush. I know that's different, but I love the mascara brush because it's thin enough to pick up the small hairs that I want. I try to get a natural hairline as much as possible. So I use the mascara brush like 90%, 95% of the time to lay baby hairs. That is my go-to favorite. So I'm just styling the hair, just showing the versatility of the frontal. You can part a lace frontal basically anywhere you want it to part. But I specifically didn't want any hair on my face, and I was still kind of in vacation mode, so I just really didn't want to do nothing to this hair. So once this was fixed, this is to stay fixed for a little while. So this is why I'm gonna be parting it in the middle and laying it back way out of my face. Okay, so I'm just gonna speed it up, but I'm just gonna continue laying my baby hairs straight across with some Got to Be Freeze spray. I don't use the Got to Be gel to lay baby hairs simply because Got to Be gel, if you use too much of the gel or too much of the spray, it can become white, very, very white and gucky, and that's what we're trying to avoid. So I don't spray the spray directly onto the brush either. I spray far away from the brush, just enough to dampen it, and then I just lay, making sure both sides line up as much as possible. It's like doing eyebrows though, laying baby hairs. One side sometimes comes out perfectly and the next side is just like but with this install, I loved every part of this. I loved every piece of this install. I adore this. This to me was fabulous. And I'm just going to continue laying my baby hair straight across, and I love it. I make sure to check every part of it, and I was in love. I do take some of the Got to Be Freeze spray and I brush all the hair back. Okay, so now I'm just lining up with my center. So I'm about to be styling this in just two braids, like I said, just to keep it out the face. This hair is so easy. When I say I wake up in the morning and I do nothing with this hair except get my spray bottle and lightly spray the back of this, that is it. That is it. I think the best thing that I did for me was to plait this sucker out the way. And when I say out the way, I mean out the way. I'm still enjoying this hair. Still loving this install. And like I said, it's super duper easy and lightweight. Do not forget to like, do not forget to subscribe, and you can follow me on all social medias at Crown by Keisha. I'm on Facebook and Instagram at Crown by Keisha. Now you know that your frontal is down when it's not 100% dried and you're braiding with tension and nowhere is lifting, and this is why it's so important that you continuously check. If you're installing it on yourself like I do, you always check to make sure. Check from all angles. Keep pulling the front. You don't have to put a lot of tension when you're checking, but just pull enough so that if it lifts in any area, you can deal with it before you're actually quote unquote done, because nothing's worse than when you're ready to lay baby hairs and the lace is lifting. Shoot me. So now I'm just going to be tying up the frontal. Once I tie it up, I allow it to air dry, because my client had came whilst I was doing my hair. So I was doing my hair in between doing installs. So I just tied it up, and once I was done with my work day, I put on my makeup, and this this is the end result. Well, this isn't really the end result, but this is what happened once I unraveled, and I was already in love. So I was like, ooh, yes, baby. But some areas of it still has a slight white cast, like right there. This is why I love to check. And once you check, you make sure everything is fine in your eyes. And if you find any faults before you leave, then you know other people will see it as well. So you just try your best to fix it. Now I'm just going to be spraying the hair. So I protected myself because I was already dressed to head out. And I'm saturating the hair, not 100%, because I just remembered that I didn't put anything on my braids. I know the braids look kind of crazy right now, but it all came together in the end. So I just pinned it because for some reason I could not find elastic bands. So I just pinned it out the way. It's supposed to have a messy look. I envisioned it this way. Just to have a nice little messy look going for itself. Nothing too neat, nothing too teamed. That's why the braids aren't so neat. They're just perfect. And from what I've learned with this install was that anywhere where the white cast was, meaning that there was a little bit extra glue, I should have allowed it to properly dry before I tied it up. But it's an easy fix if you make that mistake. Just allow your glue just a few more minutes just to properly dry, meaning that it gets clear before you rest your lace onto it. But it can be fixed in the event that you make that mistake. So I'm using my brush with just some of my face powder that complements my skin tone. It's very important that if you're using a powder, that you use one that complements your skin tone, not brighter, not darker, that complements your skin tone, and you brush it into the lace. You shouldn't have too much powder on the brush because remember, you're brushing it over the hair. Now some people use the tiny little brushes. I do too sometimes, but because I had the hair pushed back out the way, I just used the big brush and it still came out fine. Just don't put too much powder on the brush because you're going to make the hair dusty, the actual hair, and we're not trying to do that. We're just trying to complement the lace to the skin, because lace is, in other words, your fake scalp. And I'm just going to fully saturate it. Make sure that the hair is fine, with caution to the hairline, because although it's tied up, lace still needs about 24 hours before it's fully dried. You still should try your best not to get the front wet for about 24 hours, and then it'll be good to go. Try not to sweat on it, and then you're going to be like, what? I'm not supposed to sweat. But if you're wearing a lace and it's glued, please try not to sweat on the front for at least 24 hours. I give all my clients the same caution, the word of caution, to please try not to sweat for 24 hours. And like I said, the cap came this length. I didn't do any cutting. I didn't do anything. So this is how it looks straight out the pack. Well, definitely not straight out the pack because I did some customization, but with regards to length, I did no extra, nothing. And I was in love with this short length. This reminded me of when I was in high school because my hair was this length. Like I said, I was in love with this hair. I was in love with this install. I love anything curly. Once it's curly, I could wear it. But I hope you all enjoyed watching this tutorial. If any questions, you can leave a comment. But please do like and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to follow me on all social medias. Crowned by Keisha, Instagram, crowned with the ED by Keisha. Thank you.